The American Bonanza Society and the ABS Air Safety Foundation present the ABS Hangar. This installment, engine restart using fuel, ignition, and air. Like any other engine, your Beechcraft's power plant requires three things in order to develop power: fuel, air, and a source of spark or ignition. It stands to reason that if you have an engine problem that can be fixed from the pilot's seat, you'll get it restarted by manipulating the fuel, ignition, and air controls. If your engine runs roughly or quits altogether, the airplane is under control, and you have time and altitude to spare, you may try to restart the engine. This is when it's important to know it needs fuel, ignition, and air. First, switch to a main fuel tank containing fuel. Historically, most Beech engine failures are the result of fuel mismanagement. If that's the case, switching to another main tank may provide the fuel your engine needs to resume developing power. In barrens and travel airs, it will probably be immediately obvious if power returns, because of the reduction in asymmetric thrust. In all airplanes, an increase in the exhaust gas temperature is your best indication of the resumption of power. If power is not returned, move the mixture control to the full rich position. In turbocharged and turbo-normalized engines, however, a loss of power means a loss of turbo boost. Full rich may be too rich to run, especially at high altitude. In turbo engines, the procedure is to pull the mixture control to idle cutoff, and then advance the mixture until the engine starts or until you reach full rich. If that does not restore power, try the auxiliary fuel pump. In engines with two speed pumps, use the high position. If power does not resume, turn the auxiliary fuel pump back off. Flying an E-Series Bonanza? Pump the manual wobble pump to restart the engine. If power is restored, you may need to manually pump the fuel all the way to landing. If you've switched tanks, manipulated the mixture, and activated the auxiliary pump, and the engine is still not running, you've done everything fuel-related that you can do. Next, confirm the ignition switch is in the both magnetos position. It's not likely a total engine failure can be fixed by selecting a single magneto. However, the fuel, ignition, air technique also works for a rough-running engine. In this case, selecting one or the other magnetos individually may result in smoother operation. You may, however, have to re-lean the mixture after switching to a single magneto. Finally, in airplanes equipped with an alternate air control, pull and release the handle. In C-55, D-55, and pre-1974 E-55 Barons, and pre-1974 Baron 58s, move the induction air selector to the alternate air position. The alternate air source should automatically activate if needed. The cockpit control exists in case the alternate air door sticks shut and serves as a backup to its activation. Because it should work without pilot input, alternate air is the last effort in an attempted engine restart. If you've attempted restart by manipulating the fuel, ignition, and air controls, and the engine did not restart, there's nothing else you can do from the pilot seat to get it started again. In a Bonanza or Debonair, pull the propeller control to the low RPM position to reduce drag for best glide. In a Baron or Travel Air, feather the inoperative engine's propeller and secure the engine. Your pilot's operating handbook contains one or more checklists for dealing with a failed or rough-running engine. If an engine runs roughly or quits in flight, there are just 5 things you can do to get it started again: fuel tank selection, fuel boost pump operation, fuel mixture control, ignition selection, and alternate air. If you do these 5 things, fuel, 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 ignition, air, you've done all you can do to restart a rough-running or completely dead engine. Remember, only perform the fuel, ignition, air procedure if the airplane is under control and you have time and altitude to attempt a restart. Otherwise, continue with the glide, landing without power, or in a barren or travel air, identify, verify, and feather the correct propeller. Learn more about this and other emergency procedures by taking BPPP online courses, free to ABS members in the ABS Online Learning Center at www.bonanza.org. Continue your journey to mastering your Beechcraft by flying with a BPPP instructor near your home or your favorite flying destination. Thank you for watching. Join us again next time in the ABS Hangar.